Because if you really have that self-confidence, then you wouldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, I hope the ladies, you can pardon me, but the men also do that. So the third way that habits are formed is coping. This is another huge area. Coping. People do certain things, or people have formulated some habits because they want to cope, whether emotionally or, physically. They are coping, their actions or their behavior has been formed as a result of emotional stress. If you are living in anxiety or in depression, you are emotionally strained, that is a recipe for you to, it is a trigger. It is something that can cause you to choose a bad behavior just to cope for that particular thing that you're going through mentally or emotionally. So you may fall on alcohol. We are beating on the alcoholics today. But let me tell you that some people are drinking alcohol not because they want to. The reason is that they are trying to cope with the particular underlying problem that they find themselves in. Whether they are lonely, whether they have serious debt, whether their wife is beating them at home. My goodness. Seriously, yeah. Whether they are going through some employment issues, some financial issues, there is a reason that they are doing that. So they are using that bad or dangerous habit to actually cover up something. So they are using it as a coping mechanism. See, most of the time for emotional reasons. If you're a wife and you are being emotionally abused by your husband, I will not be surprised if you become a gossip, because talking to people about other people may become an easy way out. So because of something that is happening to you emotionally, you are choosing a lifestyle or a habit just to cope with that particular thing you're going through. And that happens with other things that people face. You could name it. It could be anything.
Yes, sometimes too, some people are very insecure.
Insecurity.
So in order to cope for that insecurity, they tend to do certain things that may be harmful to them. So if they are insecure, they will start putting some pictures out there just to feed on the comments from other people. That's the way of coping. So that coping mechanism may lead you to have certain habits. That may not be of your doing, but because you are trying to deal with that situation, you tend to adapt certain things that may be not that safe for you.
My goodness.
Yes. So
My
coping
goodness.
mechanisms.
My goodness. So can I say that?
No, you're going with that.
Think about it. If you are a lady and you are exposing your incomplete body on Facebook, you are telling me that you have the problem of accepting who you are. You don't believe you are beautiful enough. Because if you really have that self-confidence, then you wouldn't do that. Yeah, I hope the ladies, you can pardon me, but the men also do that. You can say it when it comes to them. No, but the way you show yourself, your pictures, the way you portray yourself can speak volumes. You may be covering up an underlying emotional pain. You may have been abused as a child. You probably feel nobody wants you, nobody likes you. In your neighborhood, no man has ever told you that you are beautiful. But when you put that picture on Facebook, come and see comments. And so you become that person who is always posting those kinds of pictures. It is not because you're a bad girl. No, you are not. I'm telling you are a very good girl. But you are feeding off of the comments to cover up an emotional thing that is going through your mind. And so, if you don't have any emotional problems, there could be something else. It could be poverty. You may not have money. So when you get a new clothes, you want to show that you have money. My goodness. And the same for the guys. I don't want to pick on the women a lot, but I'm on Facebook and I see some pictures, and sometimes I'm like, man, why is this happening? It is because people are trying to cover up some emotional pain, some perceived. It's not an inadequacy, but they perceive that they are inadequate. But they are all beautiful anyway. They are all prosperous anyway, and yet they want to show people that they are rich because they have a perception that somebody else is richer and they are not doing well, so they have to portray that. So they have one image of themselves on social media and another image which is real if you go to their homes. But if you are for real, if nothing is happening, you wouldn't stress yourself to do that. And so habits may have formed around those things. So if you are doing something like that, just ask yourself, why am I doing this anyway? Well, what is the reward here? Am I covering up something? That may be the reason why you are doing it. So that would be a good question to ask anybody. Yeah. Anything you do, just ask yourself, what is my motive here? Am I trying to cover up some pain somewhere? And am I going through certain things that I'm unable to share? I'm trying to cover up with this particular lifestyle of mine. If that's the case, then you can address that particular underlying issue, which we're going to get to next week, and then ensure that you don't behave or live in some habits that are not, really fun to live like. So that is what I don't know if you have anything else.
And I think some people also cope by eating a lot of foods. Yeah, they are so stressed, they are not able to maybe handle a situation or the lifestyle, whatever is happening in their life, and they just eat, and they, by eating over and over, sometimes more like sugary foods, kind of calm them down. So they will eat and eat and eat and eat. That's a way of coping. So that can be a very bad habit.
So some people have become very huge in terms of their weight, and it's because they are overeating. And it's not that they like food. I mean, granted, some people naturally like food, trust me. But some people, they are only eating because they are covering up an issue in their life that they don't even know that is an issue. Maybe the relationship they have at home, whether it's with their parents or with their spouse, or the relationship at work, or the relationship with their children who are going wayward. So, anything that will make them feel sweetness in their mouth will cover up the pain of whatever they are going through. And so they will eat and eat and eat and become obese. Some people go through that. So that is a habit that has come as a result of emotional stress or emotional pain, and they're using their habit to cope. So that is how some habits do form. Now, with that, I want us to also zoom to some people who are also actually going through physical pain and do certain things. Remember, we talked about addiction, right? Some people are hooked on cocaine, marijuana, as well as crack, and the only reason is that they initially had some pain, and they got to some pain medications, and the pain control was there. And after that, they have become hooked on those things to control the pain. I'm talking about physical pain. People with cancers, people who had accidents and injuries and, surgeries that they were given some pain medicines. And now they cannot stop because either the pain is still chronic and they have become hooked on the pain medicine, or the pain is gone. But prior to being gone, they got used to the drug, and now they can't get off the drug. So physical pain can also lead to certain habits that are also not intended, usually for them, but they have become that way, addicted to those things. We talked about addiction to workaholic, addiction to sex, addiction to what else? Drugs and alcohol, of course, substances. Because of emotional and physical pain, that is the underlying cause. If you are in certain habits, some people are very irritable. They are always angry. It's not because they want to be always angry. They have some pain. They probably have some arthritis pain that needs to be treated. My goodness. But because that pain has not been treated, the underlying pain is causing them to always be angry. They can't tell you that I'm in pain. I'm suffering. And so they act out their pain through their actions, become easily angry, throwing tantrums. Anybody who throws tantrums, unless they are children, if they are an adult, there's something missing somewhere. Now, I don't want you to go out there and begin to judge people's character. We just want to make sure that we become complete in this knowledge of the fact that habits can be formed this way. So if you haven't formed any habits, don't let yourself get into any of those dangerous habits, because they can easily be formed because you are trying to cope with something. And like, comment, share, follow, give stars, and visit our website. That way we will roll together. That's a way of supporting us. We say, Beloved,
we
wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Thanks for watching, and see you again
Thank you.
as you go out and live your better life.